So Namaloha. So I wanted to come on today because I have the Solar Plexus Mutation retreat on Friday. But I wanted to put a video out. So this will be shorter than the other ones. Probably. Most likely. So this is being recorded less than 24 hours before the new moon. And so I did 10 things you can do for the dark moon, which is the new moon in Scorpio. It's a blog article. I'll put a link below in the information box. It will be still applicable for the day of the new moon. And this is a powerful new moon. It's opposing Uranus. It's a huge Scorpio party going on, and that means a death of an old self, right? So a new self, a new timeline can activate for you, and this is the timeline of your destiny. So this is a time not to be clinging to the old or trying to make things work, and use your third chakra because your body will pay the price, right? So this is the time to just let go, to really let go. Because your highest destiny is not to be miserable. Your soul doesn't have that on the agenda. It's actually the opposite of that. The ultimate fulfillment is to walk your soul's path. And not everyone is meant to walk that path with us, right? We're come together sometimes for a short season. So just keep that in mind. We're all in the divine's hands at this time. I know there's a lot of letting go within the fractal. Okay, so I wanted to talk about the solar plexus mutation. And in particular, the open solar plexus. So I just did a poll on my community tabs page, and most of my fractal have an open solar plexus, which I find interesting. And then the people that have signed up for the retreat so far, most of them have an open solar plexus. So what does that mean? That means that this square here is not colored in, it's white. And if it's colored in, it means you're defined. Now, the latest statistic on Jovian Archive, from Ra, the founder, is 50% open, 50% defined. This is major, right? So, if you've been watching my videos for a long time, I talk about we have to evolve through the emotional body, which is we have to evolve through our astral body, so purifying the astral plane. So a lot of my work has been about that, right? So if you've been to my programs, you know this. But what I realize is I've been teaching for people who have a defined solar plexus, because I have a defined solar plexus. So it's all the things that have worked for me. Well, they're not going to work for the open solar plexus, right, people? They've got a different way of dealing with this solar plexus mutation. And why this isn't so important now is because these are the carriers of the mutation, of this solar plexus mutation. So in 2027, it's said that we'll start to see the children being born 2027 on, and they'll already have this mutation. But we're bridge people. If you're on my fractal, then you're a bridge person for the cross of the sleeping phoenix in the solar plexus. So the solar plexus here is a motor, right? It's a motor. And this is going to be mutating into an awareness center. Right now, our awareness is through our mind. And this is how we've been navigating through the cross of planning. So now we're moving into this solar plexus awareness, right? So with the open solar plexus, right? So let me know down in the comment section too if you're an open solar plexus person, and especially if this you resonate with this information. Well, the open solar plexus person, they can feel everybody's emotions, right? So they not only feel everyone's emotions, but they amplify them. So me, maybe as a defined solar plex person or a defined solar plex person in your life, they're angry, right? So maybe they're at a volume 3, right? On the anger knob. Well, you're going to feel it 10. They're feeling it 3. You're going to feel it 10. And if they're completely repressed and they're not taking responsibility for their emotions, then you are amplifying those emotions. But the thing is, you don't have, you can't metabolize the emotions. You can't metabolize the emotions. It's like you don't have a stomach. It's like you're an emotional lactose intolerant if you have an open solar plexus. The person with defined solar plexus, they can digest, they can process, right? They can clear the emotions, right? Because it's all in their astral plane. It's all their stuck emotions, right? From childhood even onto their past lives. They've got a storehouse here. Well, you don't have this same storehouse as an open solar plexus person, right? You can't move these emotions through your system. So what happens is you absorb them, you absorb the emotions, the solar plexus amplifies them, sends them out with a charge. That's the voltage, that's the emotions. And then this in turn goes through your nervous system. Your nervous system can't handle it as an open solar plexus person. So what happens? Your nervous system gets fried. Fight, flight, fawn, or freeze. That's what happens. It just your nervous system completely shuts down. And so where is this going? It's going into your fascia. It's going into your tissues. It's going into your body, right? That overflow from your nervous system, right? So you never get wrung out. You never get wrung out here. So this can, you don't have an emotional buffer, basically, as an open solar plex person. You've got no defenses. There's no barrier. It just comes through these emotions. Right? It's like you just absorb, you amplify, and then you drown, and you're drowned, and then it's going into your body. So you can confuse your emotions with other people. If you're not aware and you're not conscious, you can confuse your emotions for the other person. You can say, why am I feeling suddenly anxious? Why do I feel overwhelmed? Why do I feel afraid? Why do I feel angry? Why do I feel like I want to cry? Well, it's not your emotions. Never was your emotions. It's just in there. It's just in your aura. All right. So this is why many people with an open solar plexus, they think that they're emotionally unstable. There's something wrong with them. Or they think there's something wrong with their body because their body is completely exhausted, right? Because they're overflowing with these emotions that they can't deal with. It's not yours to deal with, right? So this is the thing. Many solar plexus, open solar plexus people, they try to manage the other person's emotions. So subconsciously, they're trying to handle that. Oh, my partner is angry, and you're unconsciously trying to make everything peaceful so he doesn't get angry. And what you're doing is you're trying to manage those emotions coming at you. That's why there's the not self is like avoid confrontation and truth. But we're going deeper. Right? This is what I really want to do with the Solar Plexus Mutation online retreat, is to go deeper and go into the mystical purpose of this mutation and what it's going to look like for us, right? So what can happen with you, and maybe you relate to this, let me know in the comment section. You can get migraines, right? You can start to get migraines. You can start to experience anxiety. You can start to experience gut issues and digestive issues and adrenal fatigue and emotional burnout. Your trauma can imprint your diaphragm, so you're not breathing properly, breathing long and deep. So what's going to happen? The body is like overwhelmed, right? The body's overwhelmed. Your body's paying the price for this emotional overflow that's not even yours. So what the open solar plexus people can do, the women, because you're on my fractal, so like my last video is 100% women. What you'll do is you leave your body, right? You'll zone out, you'll numb, you'll freeze, you'll shut down, right? You'll end up in bed 3 days if you've been around a lot of defined solar plex people not taking responsibility for their emotions. So this is it's not psychological, it's not psychosomatic. A lot of open solar plexus people get, though, the mystery illnesses, you know, though it must be on your head, it's psychosomatic. No, you can't digest these emotions. And look what's happening in our world. We're going through a solar plexus mutation. What does that mean? That means that the defined solar plex people are being pressured. They're being pressured. Their astral body is being pressured to start to release these emotions, right? So this is the wave that gets sent out by the defined solar plex people. And what's going to happen is the open solar plex people are like the cleanup crew. You're mopping all this mess that's not yours if you're not aware. And this pressure is going to really be more and more and more as we come closer to 2027, because we're preparing. The program is shifting. The program is about supporting this new species. They're going to come in with the solar plex mutation, right? So I don't want to go too much into this row because this is like the heavy content in the retreat. Okay, but I just want people to know this. And awareness is half the battle, right? Just to know, just to be aware. So this may be why you feel collapsing, right? Like, oh, I can't get out of bed. I just want to have my blindfold on. I don't want any sensory input. I just leave me alone. Let me be in the womb. You know what I mean? Let me get back in the womb. So you're not broken, right? You're not broken as an open solar plexus woman. You're not broken at all. What you are is you're early. You're the carrier of this emotional mutation, and you're the new nervous system prototypes. Your nervous system is being rewired, right? Once you rid yourself of what's not yours. So your body feels what's coming before even 2027 arrives, right? So if you're exhausted, overwhelmed, or in physical pain, or withdrawing from people, like it's becoming more and more painful to be around people, that's not you failing, right? That's the solar plexus mutation is running through an open solar plexus that has no protection. You have no protection. And it's reminding me of this this video I did 5 months ago when I was putting this the retreat together, and then this video. I think it was the Jupiter. It's a Jupiter video if you want to watch the whole thing. The Evolution of Love, I think it's called. This is from Star Trek, and this is Deanna Troi, if you know the Star Trek Next Generation. And then this alien that comes on board, this guy, and he's a mediator. And what is discovered in Star Trek, he comes in with this really young woman. No, sorry. He comes in with this really an elderly woman, and he's lying and saying that's my mother. Well, it turns out that she was young. This woman was young, but he was using her as a receptacle. Right, so the woman took on all his pain and his unintegrated shadow, and what it did, it would age the woman. Like that woman was really, really young, but then it looked like his mother. Right, so he was doing this with Deanna Troi. So she started to age really, really fast. Right, so this is like the feminine receptacle contract. So Deanna Troi here, we can look at her, let's look at her as an open solar plex person. She's an empath. She's a receptacle. She just doesn't feel, she absorbs. You're not just feeling emotions, you're absorbing them, and then she pays the price with her body. Premature aging, exhaustion, adrenal fatigue, all that stuff. So the open solar plexus woman becomes the container for the unconscious defined solar plex, right? Processed emotions. And he gets to appear like he's the grounded one. He's the spiritually grounded one. He's emotionally clear in the world. He's logical. Why? Because he's not doing his work. He's like putting it on the open solar plexus woman. Now, what's really interesting is defined solar plexus and open solar plexus are deeply attracted to one another. So you want to look at your relationship, or maybe your exes, and you'll find that if you're an open solar plex woman, then most of them were probably all defined. So this is the old cross of planning way, right? So this is breaking down. The solar plexus is breaking down, and what it was the emotional frequency on the planet was glued us together in these tribal contracts, so we could keep this cross of planning system going. Right? So this is like, I do this for you, you do this for me. It's the marriage contract. It's the contract you have with society. All of those things. This is starting to break down, right? So the cross of planning, this performance frequency, right, is breaking down. It's breaking down now. So the cost of your defined partner, defined solar plex partner, he gets to play the role of the wise ones, right? The wise one, the together one, at the cost of your nervous system and your body. So this contract is dead. The feminine receptacle contract's dead because the mutation's not going to hold it any longer. So just use this as an archetype to really lock this in to your body and this truth. And again, never take what I say as gospel. Really take it inside with your own truth filter, not through your ego, but through your own inner being. Right? Because the pressure is going to be on. Okay. So when we rise it to a higher frequency, well, this is the High Priestess. So you're the Somatic Initiate as an open solar plexus woman. You're the High Priestess. You're the High Priestess there. And then when the defined solar plexus person is the emotional alchemist. And this is the archetype of the King of Cups, right? So the High Priestess, if you know the tarot, she feels everything, the High Priestess. And she absorbs atmosphere. She reads subtle energy, right? She senses truth behind the veil. She knows without knowing. I know that I know. I don't know, I know, I just know. She's porous, she's receptive, and she's emotionally silent, but she's deeply aware. So this is the open solar plexus, right? With there's no emotional motor, there's no wave, there's no protection, there's no boundaries, and it amplifies whatever enters. Right? So this is your somatic intuition. This is your body's intuition. Your body is your oracle right now, right? For the divine feminine, but especially one this with the open solar plexus here. And she absorbs what other people avoid. Right? So the high priestess, she awakens through her body. Open solar plexus, you're awakening through your body. Not through logic, not through the intellect, not through strategy, not through giving your power over to others, not through following tribal rules. You awaken through the body, sensation, intuitive pulses, emotional resonance, right? Spirit, dreams, inner knowing. It's mystery. You awaken through the body, through the sensations within the body, right? The mystery of that. So you're initiated by the spirit in the body, not the mind, right? So your intuition is in your fascia. Your knowing is your nervous system, and your initiation happens somatically, not mentally, right? So this is why you're collapsing when you're overloaded. That's why you feel the mutation. You're feeling the mutation first. That's why you pick up on the wave before anyone else. And that's why you become the emotional barometer for your relationships, right? So this is also connected to the 55th gate. That's where the mutation happens, is the 55 in the solar plexus. That's happening right now. And this is the hidden knowledge, right? It's the deepest it's the most mystical gate in the solar plexus, right? It's psychic, it's intuitive, it's mystical. It's the high priestess, the 55. Yeah. And then the king of cups. This is emotional mastery. It's emotional mastery. And this is using the consciousness as a tool here. I don't want to go too much into this, the divine, because this video is really for the open solar plexus, the somatic initiate, right? The king of cups basically is doing his emotional work and alchemizing those emotions into awareness. Into awareness. If you've been to my programs, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. So what to do here? Here's the most important thing I wanted to share with people. Okay. So there's the wave, right? So there's the wave. The wave. Here's all the channels that are coming off the solar plexus. You see them? Okay. And I could talk a lot about this, but I just want the most important thing that you need to know at this time with this video. So there's the wave, right? The person with the defined solar plexus is sending out the wave of emotions. And there you are, open solar plexus, the sponge, just taking it all in. So what you need to know the most important is these are like the most dangerous for you at this time. These channels, the 1959 coming off the root, and the 3740. And why? Because these two are tribal. They're tribal channels. And this is what we're mutating away from. For the cross of the sleeping phoenix, the tribal consciousness is leaving. These have tribal bargains, right? Encoded. So what happens with you with an open solar plexus? You become conditioned. You're living in this emotional frequency that's not yours, right? So the 4919 is you can get into like, there's emotional rules. The 4919 rules the environment, the emotional environment. So there's emotional rules. There's punishment when you don't obey. You have to obey the emotional rules. Is this person actually verbalizing these emotional rules? Maybe not, but you're sensing them with this wave because you're in the wave with him and your partner, right? So there's punishment when you don't obey there's rejection. This is the silent treatment guy. If you're not emotionally taking care of me and at my beck and call, right? Following my rules, always my rules, my way or the highway, then what are you going to get? Like the silent treatment. Like that would be an example of rejection, right? Doesn't pay attention to you and stuff until I got to follow the rules. And you're reading this wave. So there can be moral pressure, like you owe me, right? You owe me. For 1949 is like, okay, I'm paying the expenses and I'm doing this and that. Well, you owe me. You owe me. And this pulls you away from your authenticity. You see? And then you're in this wave and you're exhausted. You're disconnected from your intuition. Your body's screaming, right? Because of this. And then the 3740, that's the gate of family. It's the tit for tat, right? You do this for me. I do this for you. We have to stay together for the sake of the family. Right? The 1949 is what would other people think if we separated? Something like that, right? So this is going to fry your system, right? Because there's an emotional voltage that's being carried in this wave, right, for you. And you can't deal with that, not with your system. So you can distort your intuition. You can get gaslit really easy. You start to doubt your knowingness, right? And this can create somatic panic in your body, and you collapse your self-trust. And you may even betray yourself to avoid any kind of emotional conflict. Well, I'm not going to bring this up. This isn't working for me. I don't care what the tribe thinks. I don't care what other people think. Right, of me. I have to be myself now. I have to be my authentic self. I have to be soul driven. These tribal channels are not soul driven. They're about keeping up an old system that's collapsing and dying. So what you can do is you can confuse the emotional truth, especially with these tribal channels, as your truth, and it's not. Right? Because you're swimming in this energy and you lose yourself, right? You'll lose yourself. So the other thing I want to say, because it's like, hey, Michael said he's defined. He has channels. Well, I've got the 3955. So my channel is about liberating you. I'm not pulling you into a tribal contract with 3955. I'm like, poking your spirit so you come into your authenticity. So if you're overflowing with other people's emotions, then yeah, this is going to be painful for you. You're not going to be able to hold the voltage until you rid yourself of all of this conditioning first. But it will activate you. It will activate you. Yeah, and it's a mutation. The 39, if you have the 3955, let me know in the comment section. This is a mutative channel. I've gone through the emotional, the solar plexus mutation myself because I was forced to. That 3955 turns on me too, right? Not just other people, right? I'm provoking my own astral body. Right? Everything's starting to make sense now in my life, what I've gone through. And it's because of this, because I'm in this present now moment, right? So the 3955, I can't get away with not being my authentic self. My sun is in the 8, and then I've got this 3955. So it's all about awakening you to your own authenticity, to your individuality, to your spirit. Right? This pokes right at the spirit of other people. Okay, so you want to make sure that you got to know who you're living with, especially if you're a projector. For God's sakes, if you're a projector and you're living with someone, you got to get that person's chart, right? Because you're absorbing, right? You may be have the authority colored in, but you're as a projector, you're absorbing other people, their energy. But if you have an open solar plexus, even more important, right? Okay. So you're probably saying, well, what can I do? What can I do? Right? Well, here's your mantra as a somatic initiate as a high priestess with the open solar plexus. And remember, you're the new teachers of this solar plexus mutation. That's why you're on the front line. Maybe people are like, she's crazy, she's psychosomatic, she's got something going on with her body, right? These mysterious illness, I don't understand. It's probably defined solar plexus people saying that to you. Well, now you know. And you know because you're going to be a teacher of the solar plexus mutation. You're going to guide others through this mutation. This pressure's coming strong, 2026. We're already on it. We've got a lot of solar flares that are really poking our astral body, our bodies. Yeah. So you need to really take really good care of yourself, right? During this time. So you're designed to feel the mutation first, right? So if your system is overloaded by other people's emotional waves, your mother, your partner, your tribal conditioning, and it's going to be the people that you're bonded with, they're going to really condition you the most rather than, okay, I'm just, I'm with the client, I'm working with the client right now or whatever. You're not going to be as affected. It's the ones that you're closely bonded to that you're the most affected by. Okay. So remember, if you're in that state right now, like pain, what I'm talking about, it's a backlog. You need to look at it as a backlog of emotions that you were never meant to carry, and your body's carrying them in the fascia, right? So what do you want to do is you want to, this mantra, what is it? I'm not responsible for anyone's emotions but my own. I'm not responsible for anyone's emotions but my own. So my partner's angry. Let him be angry. Let him stew in his own anger. You're not going to run around and try to make peace and make him feel better. No. That's you leaking your energy, and that's you being the sponge. Suddenly he feels better. Was it something I did? No, I was a receptacle for all his repressed emotions. That's why he feels better and I feel worse, right? It's like, no, say that to yourself. This is an act of self-love. It's time to love yourself and respect your energy as a high priestess. No more of this. I'm not responsible. Say it out loud. Repeat after me. I'm not responsible for anyone's emotions but my own. You have every right to do that. You've got to decondition, right? From the days of childhood, you were totally absorbing all your family, right? And family's emotions and their volatility and unpredictability, whatever, household you were brought up in. Okay. So this one, you want to take breaks, right? You want to take breaks from people with a defined solar plexus. Again, get people's charts, right? Divine Jovian Archive, you can get free charts there. Because the divine solar plexus person in your life amplifies your nervous system load. You're already overloaded. You're already in an emergency state if your body's in a lot of pain, right? So this is like you want to take a break from here, especially the people with the tribal channels. You want to stay clear of them for a while. Know your own frequency. If you're living with a 1949 or a 3740, you want to be sleeping in your own bed. You want some time away from them, right? Go in the forest, go in nature and discharge, right? Discharge these emotions. In the 3635 too, which is about crises. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to leave the room if the vibe shifts. And you're going to feel it as a high priestess. Oh, the vibration just shifts. You get out of the room. You get out of the room. You stop being the emotional first responder, right? Somebody calls you or texts you in a crazy emotional crisis. You're not the emotional responder. You're not going there first. You want to stop translating other people's moods. Oh, they're really sad or they're really upset. This is something you do unconsciously. This is the not self. Oh, this is why they're probably feeling this way. I better fix them. No. You're not the translator anymore. You stop trying to stabilize the energy and you stop taking responsibility for other people's feelings. They're having their own experience, even if they may be projecting it on you. It's something because unconscious defined solar plexus people can do that too when they don't take responsibility. Oh, it's you. You're the reason I feel angry, or the reason why I'm feeling this. It's because their wave. It's them. It's their wave. It's either up or down. It has nothing to do with you. Right? So let them just have their experience and you be like Teflon. I'm not taking this on. Right? I was so chill and in harmony, and you walked into the room and now I feel anger. You can say with authority, this is not my anger. This is your anger. This is yours to deal with. I'm not being the sponge anymore because you know what? I love myself. Right? I love my energy. Right? I respect my energy. I'm not doing this anymore because the reason why you're doing it is because it's a tribal contract. Well, you should be doing this if you're a loving partner, if you're a loving wife, right? You should if you're a good friend. You're letting go of the shoulds. That's the tribal contract. That's what you have to let go of. And you have to stand sometimes as a community of one because people will backlash. They want you to be not self. What are you doing? You're breaking the script. It's like, no, I'm not following this contract anymore. It's not true to my authenticity and my spiritual journey at this time. Right? So your body is not an emotional recycling bin. Right? The other thing is you want to reduce your sensory input by at least 50%, right? And do this before you collapse. Start to track, oh, I'm going into collapse. I can't handle the stress right now. You need to reduce sensory input. That means you get in the room, you dim the lights, soft sounds only, right? Nice candlelight, no podcasts, right? No chatter, no multitasking, no distraction, no being on the phone, less phone, no doom scrolling, right? And then silence. Maybe in the car ride, you can say, you know what? I would really like us just to be quiet together. That's like the most amazing thing when you're able to be quiet with another person, right? And especially if they have an open throat, right? The open throat people are like, they're always talking, nonstop talking about anything, right? You can say, you know what? I really would like us to be quiet. That's the language of the divine, is silence. There's auras communicate to one another when you're silent. You can ask for that, right? To bring yourself back into stability. You need nervous system silence. Nervous system silence. It's like going to a restaurant. Sometimes I go to a restaurant. It's like, I can't eat in here. The music's blasting. The lights are on full. Full, like you expect the airplane to come flying in. They're so bright. And then you've got people screaming and yelling at one another. And it's like, who designed restaurants like this? Right? Not somebody with a sensitive nervous system, obviously, right? So that's your choice. And yeah, some people may say you're a little weird. No, I don't go out to restaurants, like noisy restaurants, right? But that's you. You're protecting your energy, especially with the solar plexus mutation coming in. You have to take care of I'm just giving you some guidance, but you have to follow through on it. And you'll start to feel better and more solid in your body, and your body's going to love you. Like, thank you. Thank you. I can let go of this, what's not mine. It's the 10 of Wands, right? You're finally dropping the 10 of Wands. Right? So this is necessary. If I were a doctor, this is your prescription right here, right? And then you want to isolate when your body tells you to. Isolate when your body tells you to. So you must retreat, right, before they absorb too much, right? So isolate when your body will tell you, like, no, I don't want to do this. No, I don't want to go to this social function. No, I'm not doing it because I should, because that's the tribal contract. No, I'm listening to my body now, not the tribal contract. That's all in the mind and the pressure of my partner, right? I'm listening to my body. You want your body to get strong. You need a strong body. You're awakening through your body, right? As an open solar plexus, as a high priestess. So isolation is your medicine. It's your medicine. So don't let anybody judge you, right? Oh, you spend so much time alone. You should be running around with us, socializing, overstimulating yourself. No, I'm going to listen to my body. My body is my authority now. My body's my oracle. My body's my guru, my teacher. Okay. And then you want to name out loud what's not yours. Right? Your system can't drain emotional voltage until you name it. Right? So you say, this isn't mine. This isn't mine. Even though you're in denial and you're saying you're not angry and what are you talking about and you're gaslighting me, you can say, no, this isn't mine. You're not, right? You're going to feel it. Your body will feel that energy coming at you. This is not mine. You can't gaslight me anymore, right? This belongs to my partner. This energy belongs to my partner. If you don't want to confront him, this energy belongs to my partner. I'm not taking it on, right? This is my mother's fear, right? This is the collective energy, right? This is the mutation. So labeling it is liberation, right? Because that's not me. That's not me. That's liberation. Or the old way is you just like took it all on and absorbed it. And then breathing, of course, like slow, deep breathing. Stop explaining your sensitivity to others, right? Don't be apologizing that you need to rest and that you need space. Right? You don't need to apologize for being overwhelmed. You don't need to apologize for saying, no, I can't. I'm like overstimulated right now. I really need time to myself. Right? You don't want to apologize for needing silence or feeling too much. Right? Your sensitivity is not a flaw and it's not something you need to fix. It's who you are. And it's mutative. Right? And then you want to do one body movement a day. So not a workout. You don't want to like overstress your body. Like just one, like doing some neck rolls, right? Doing some hip circles, doing a little bit of yoga, right? To walking barefoot outside and lets the fascia like drain the emotional residue. And you want to stop being the emotional anchor in your relationships. So you want to stop mothering other people. You're not the mother. They all had their mother. You don't need to be the mother of them. You want to stop translating silence. Let the silence be. You want to stop fixing other people's moods. You want to stop taking responsibility. You want to stop stabilizing other people's chaos. That's not your job, and your body will pay the price. Right? So what happens when you stop doing these things? Your nervous system starts to unfreeze. Right? You start to unload what's not yours. Yeah. And you want to spend time with people. Either they have an open solar plexus themselves. They have an open solar plexus themselves, an aura. So this would be medicine for you. You want to, you can spend time with a defined solar plexus person who takes responsibility for their emotions, and it can be mutative for you, especially if you have a gate, a hanging gate that connects with their gate. That can be really mutative for you, just to have the experience of holding the voltage without collapsing, if you're with a conscious, defined solar plexus person, right? So that's a completely different experience. It's mutative. Salt baths can really help, and and being in heat, and that can drain the emotional residue from your fascia. So like infrared saunas, things like that. Showers in the dark, little stimuli, right? Simple. Okay, and walking in silence. And then when you are numb, when you do catch yourself numbness, like your nervous system is overloaded, then you just say, my system's just absorbed too much, and I just need to retreat, and it will come back online. Right? So this allows the sensation to return. It's like when you start really listening to your body and obeying, it will bounce back. Our bodies are really, really strong. Remember that. So the mutation is happening through you. The mutation's happening through you. So you're not weak, you're not unstable. You're just on the front line of the solar plexus mutation. And you feel it first so the species can evolve. So you're learning, right? This is something you're going to be teaching other people as we go into this mutation. So it's really simple, right? Your job is simple. You want to protect your body. You want to protect your energy. You want to protect your spirit. And you're a somatic initiate, right? You're awakening through your body with your open solar plexus. So you'll feel it first, right? So that the world can feel it later here. So there's some things that you can do. And what did I do? And then I picked some cards here. And just a reminder, solar plexus mutation. So we're going to go deeper into this material and the mystical mechanics of the solar plexus and what it means spiritually for us. And of course, the locks and keys change and what the energy is going to be in this next 400 years. And so that you can align with this new energy. And also, we're going to go to the very, very root of letting go of these frequencies, these imprints that are not ours, and through a rebirthing. And there's a powerful Kundalini Yoga, a rebirthing process. And then there's going to be gentle exercises so you can, technologies that you can let go, right? Let go of as an open solar plexus and a defined solar plexus person. Okay, so that's the best use of our time right now, right? Because this is what we have to purify. And then this awareness comes online. And then we're drawn together through frequency, not through tribal contracts anymore. So if you've got a should in your head, You got to get that shit out. Okay. So, lots of information in my website for that. Okay, so I picked a card for the fractal and for the TFs. Okay, so the fractal is the Fool. So the question, the prayer was, what do you need to know for these next pre-mutative days, 10 days, because my next video is going to be in 10 days, probably. The Fool, right? So this is innocence, is presence, right? It's the 0 card, back to 0. This is a reset, a reboot, new timeline, new mutation for the fractal, stepping over the cliff into the unknown, right? Not knowing the outcome, following your body, following your intuition and your wisdom. Where is your body taking you right now? So this is the beginning of a whole new emotional system, and it's leaving the cross of planning behind. You want to step into the mutation, and you can't bring in those old emotional contracts with you, and you know exactly who these people are, right? I can't do that anymore. I can't. One of mine, which is coming up in my own mind, is I've had my body with this friend. I've had this friend for a while, and my body just started rejecting her when she would speak, right? And we're just not connecting anymore. We're not connecting anymore. And I remember even saying to her, I think I mentioned this in another video, I can't listen to you talk about this. She was talking about war and conflict and politics and all that stuff and sides and all that, right? And my body was, right? And she was saying, well, she wanted to argue with me. She wanted to get me to get in my head. And why are you doing this? And this is why it's right. And I kept like, no, I'm not going to go into my head. I said, I can't explain. My body is just like, no, I can't listen to this. It's like I feel in pain. I remember telling, I feel in pain right now. I don't think we should be talking about this stuff, right? So this is the thing. Your body gets stronger and stronger with the messages. And now I see what my body is doing. It's protecting my authenticity. My body is protecting my authenticity, my frequency. My body is telling me when something is off. But here's the tribal, because I've had to do my deconditioning too around tribal stuff, is well, you've got to respect your elders. Doesn't matter what state of consciousness they're in. It's like, oh, I have to respect my elders. I have to be polite. I can't speak the truth. Right? So this is what I was faced with. It's like, no, my authenticity is number one, not the tribal agreements, right? So that would be like a small example of that. But really trust your body. And the more you trust your body, the stronger it's going to be. And now I really, really trust it. It's really communicating loudly what it wants and what it doesn't want. Okay? So this is the new emotional way, the new emotional system. Okay. So you want to stop, right? You want to stop carrying the emotional past, right? Look what he's got. He's got a little satchel. So you don't want to be taking in the emotional, the emotional Samsonite matching luggage with you, right? You're not taking that into the future with you. You're letting all that emotional baggage go. No emotional debt. No, I owe you. I can't move forward because I owe you. You did this for me, so I got to do that for you. No tribal contracts. So just go there. It's like, where am I still attached to a tribal contract? Or that's your conditioning. Right? No mother wounds, no partner moods. I got to save everybody. Everything will fall apart if I go forward on my journey, right? No karmic agreements. And the body can't take anything with it into this new frequency. You have to let it all go. So the collapse is the reset. The full is the 0 point, is the void. And this is your nervous system is clearing when you do this. Let go of the past. Let go of the past. Right? This is your emotional detox. Right? So you're entering a new emotional lifetime in a new body, in the same body, actually. Same body, but it's being rewritten, right? Your nervous system, because you will be carrying the nervous system of the future as an open solar plexus high priestess, right? So you can't use the old rules anymore. No people pleasing, no emotional translation, no stabilizing and running and fixing and rescuing other people, no bending for the family, absolutely no compromising, right? This is the new moon, is in the 14. No compromising. No fawning, no walking on eggshells anymore. You are stepping into your power, and you want to trust your body, not your mind. Your mind will try to talk you out of what your body is speaking the truth. Your mind's not going to speak the truth to you. It's conditioned. It's part of that system. Your mind is part of that system, right? So you want to trust your body. My body is saying, I can't be in this relationship anymore. My spirit, my soul is dying. I'm in a drought. It's like your soul is starving in that emotional field, because you're dumping, you're absorbing, you're in someone else's wave. You're not you. You're not being on your authenticity. As soon as you embrace this full energy, you come back online. Your authenticity comes back online. Your vitality, your passion, your prosperity, all of that. It's all about alignment now. Right? So if you're a defined solar plexus person, you've got to start over too. And this is like, I own my wave. I own my emotions. I don't blame everybody for my emotions. I'm not going to dump my unprocessed emotions on other people. This is grace and maturity, right? You've had a day, you've had a day, an emotional day. You've had challenges. Your wave was all crazy. And then you go meet some friends. Do you want to dump that on them? No. Maybe you're still kind of going through it a little bit. They can't help you. Only you can help you. And that means the process, especially if they're open. If they have a solar plexus, right? What I say is like, oh, my inner weather's a little bit cloudy right now. And that's all I have to say. And it's like, maybe they want to ask out of kindness. And I said, it's no big deal. It's going to go, right? Don't get attached to the clouds. That's your inner weather. That's your inner weather. And just know that your emotional patterns are coming in. They're going to come in differently. And the more purification work you do, the more that wave gets clearer and clear, and then it starts to communicate to you. And we'll be talking about that in the Solar Plexus Mutation Retreat. Okay, so purification is your path as a defined solar plexus person. Okay, so it's about really dropping this old role. It's time to drop it. I remember a student was saying, I've got all these problems. What can I do about this problem that I have? And he had like this beautiful crystal glass in his hand. And he said, here's what you do. And he dropped it on the floor and it went smashing into a million pieces. And he said, drop it. That's all you do is drop it. You're the one holding on to it. Right? Through your attachment to it. It's time to drop it and reboot. Right? It's 2026 tomorrow, or coming soon, and Saturn and Neptune in 0 degrees Aries in February. New timeline is here. The ship is on the move. It's time to get on board. Right? The Sleeping Phoenix ship. The new timeline. Okay, so for the twin flame, we got the Queen of Cups, which is a beautiful card here. The Queen of Cups. So this is emotional sovereignty, it's sacred receptivity, and it's soul truth only. So the Queen of Cups is very intuitive, right? There's the water. She's psychic, she's emotionally attuned, she's compassionate, but she has boundaries. Doesn't mean you have to be a hard ass, you know? You can be, you're just boundaries. You can feel and have compassion for other people, but you have boundaries, right? Boundaries. And for the open solar plexus people, your boundary could be leave the room. Leave the room could you be your boundary, right? So this is a deeply feminine card, but not caretaking. Not a caretaking card. It's connected to spirit, not your conditioning, your past, and it's holding truth without collapsing. Right? So this is the divine feminine mastery, right? That an open solar plexus women are mutating towards. So, and it's also the new template for the divine masculine twin flame, right? So it means holding the emotional. You want to hold the emotional field without absorbing it. So she feels everything, but she absorbs nothing. She feels everything, but she absorbs nothing. So this is the future expression of the open solar plexus. The emotional clarity that emerges after the mutation. So your sensitivity is not your curse. Those on the twin flame. It becomes your superpower once you stop taking on the emotional debris that's not yours. It puts you into feeling tone, and I'll talk about that at the retreat. Feeling tone. So boundaries are rooted in your intuition, not your fear. Right? It's just like calmly sitting in the body, and the body communicates. Right? It's very calm. It's not about fear, right? That's nervous system. So you trust your intuitive signals, and the twin flame feminines are like, don't collapse into the wave. Don't collapse into his wave. Don't try to stabilize him. Don't mother him. Don't carry him. That's not your job. So this is you move from the somatic receptacle to the somatic initiate. So this is like you have to let go of this old pattern of, oh, this is what I have to do in relationship, right? Is be the sponge for his emotions. No. In that emotional stillness, the Queen of Cups doesn't do anything. She's just sitting there. Her energy says, I'm here, I'm clear, and I'm sovereign. What she does, when she does this, the karmic relationships collapse around her. This dissolves the old contracts. It's like, I'm not playing this anymore. I've done it lifetime after lifetime. I'm not playing it now. I'm sitting still in my body, right? I'm listening to my body. And this, of course, activates the union timeline. So this is the end of the mother. This is the end of the mother archetype in karmic relationships. You're not here to be anybody's mother. You're not here to be anybody's mother unless it's your child, right? It's certainly not your relationships. This is the self-sovereignty. Each one is whole unto themselves with the twins, right? Each twin takes care of themselves, can take care of themselves. There's no tit for tat. That's tribal. Tribal consciousness cannot be part of the twin flame connection, right? Okay. Okay, that's what I want to share. Let me see the time. 1 hour. Okay, I went over. My goal was, okay, I'm going to do 30 minutes. It would have been way longer if I pulled more cards. Okay, so let me know how the card reading went too. I really enjoyed people giving me their feedback on the cards. I really enjoy tarot myself. I've been studying tarot for a long time, and it's a good mirror. Okay, so just a reminder, the Solar Plexus Mutation online retreat, November 21st to 23rd, and you want to tune into your body and feel if your body's being pulled towards this experience. And if so, join in. It's not going to be super, super intense. It will be definitely mutative, but it will be very gentle too, right? Like a gentle approach, but intense. Intense enough for that ego to like let go, right? The old identity to let go. And then you'll learn more about how you're designed. Okay. So I will see you. I don't know when I'm going to see you, but I'll post daily. Okay. So you can follow me on Instagram, Telegram, and the YouTube community page too. That's like has the most action. And I have a free newsletter that comes out once a week too. Okay. And remember that blog article too on Scorpio New Moon. Okay. Okay, take really good care of yourself and Satnam Aloha, and I'll see you next video. Bye-bye.